What's up, everybody? This is A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing Mercury opposite Neptune in the natal chart. So this is a natal aspect, okay? Just to let anybody know, if they don't know what Mercury opposite Neptune means, it's like, what is that? It is an aspect. But this one is going to be coming from your birth chart, which is a natal birth chart. So first, we're going to break down what Mercury is all about. Mercury has to deal with intelligence. It has to deal with your intellect. It has to deal with early childhood learning. It has to deal with your community, siblings, and short distance travels. So when we're speaking about Mercury, Mercury is linked to Gemini and it rules over the third house in the natal birth chart. Mercury is also linked to Virgo and it rules over the sixth house in the natal birth chart. So now, Neptune is linked to Pisces and it rules over the 12th house of the natal birth chart. So what is the 12th house? The 12th house has a lot to deal with things that are an illusion, confusion, but spirituality. It has to deal with jails and hospitals, addictions, escapism. It also has to deal with bed pleasure, also with long distance travel, okay? But more of the ones that are overseas, where Mercury is more about just moving around in your community, in your neighborhood, in the hood. Neptune's going to be more traveling to far places, okay, abroad. Neptune also has to deal with self-denial, self-deception. It also has to deal with deception, deceit, okay? Not being truthful, not being honest with oneself. But also, this can be done to them, okay? So, we're going to get off into this. So, these women and men, imagination has full reign in this surreal and expressive expression of the mind. Okay, so now, insightfully and creatively inspired, you possess a vast sea of all thoughts and feelings as you tap into the collective unconscious and receive psychic insight. So this is a psychic placement to have. Okay, please keep this in mind. Because of this mental overload, you're not sure whether it's your mind doing the thinking, as certain thoughts or ideas seem to come from somewhere else. So you may doubt your authenticity. So what's going on here? These people, okay, are second guessing themselves, second guessing their minds. I already told you this is a psychic placement to have. It's a very spiritual placement to have. It's otherworldly, even when it shows up, because it really has to deal with the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and it gets all bundled up. It's a lot of second guessing here, a lot of questioning here, a lot of not being sure when it comes to this. So the subconscious and conscious mind come together, and it feels like you're turned out of your train of thought, and your mind may take on a vagueness. You could suffer from misunderstandings, confusion, and disorder around the communication area. So now, when these people are communicating with people, okay, and they're voicing their opinions, they're voicing their ideas, their views, they can get into a lot of mental head battles with people. Okay, misunderstandings can be coming from them, but it can also be their misunderstanding somebody else. They're perceiving what you said in a different way, in a different light, other than what you were really meaning it for. Okay, and that makes things confusing. That brings shit that's distasteful. Okay, when it comes to communication. So the mundane matters of life could be a struggle to organize when your perceptions feel distorted, unusual, and just strange. Okay? These could be the type of people that are sociable, but they require a lot of space, a lot of alone time. These could be the type of people that struggle with a lot of anxiety. Okay. It can be extremely hard to verbalize such feelings. So it would be ideal for you to write some poetry, anything creative, okay? Anything that has to deal with writing, these people can actually perfect, okay? Because it's some kind of form of inspiring them, but they can make some kind of work that is inspiring to other people. Learn to be introspective and just go with the flow. These people need to learn how to just not really just get caught up in all the details and just let shit go smoothly. Thinking in pictures is something of a gift that these people do have. Your thinking may be woolly, open, receptive to the great symbolic world. So this oversensitivity to your environment confuses you when you interact with others and share your messages. Miscommunication is common and can quickly spiral into any kind of accusations, all right? Any signs of deception, lying. All of these things can go into this. Actions and responses based on the wrong information can lead to further complications, arguments, or a total breakdown in communication. Okay, so these can be the kind of people that have friends and it's an on again, off again friendships for them. Okay, don't get me wrong, they can have friends for years, okay, but periods of times where they're not speaking to them, okay, because of miscommunication, because they feel like this person is being deceptive, because they feel like this person is lying and not being honest and truthful, okay, so they do assume a lot of shit, okay, and then later on what ends up happening with these individuals, they can do one of two things. If they really feel like the person's intentions was really foul or malicious, okay, they can actually just cut you off, distance itself, detach themselves from you. But if they feel like they were wrong, okay, a few years later or later on down the line, months later, okay, they can come back to the table, apologize for how things were, how things went, okay, and rectify the situation. So this makes it challenging to maintain healthy relationships. Because of confusion and mistrust and suspicion, these people are overly suspicious and they have trust issues. Okay? And because of this makes it confusing for them to communicate with you on the level that they want to communicate with you. You may also incorrectly perceive another person's character traits or intentions. Okay? Now, because this is being linked to Neptune, because Mercury is being linked to Neptune, we are speaking about the mind being linked to illusion, confusion, chaos, but spirituality. Okay, these people are more inclined to the world that we cannot see than the world that we're in. Okay, so a lot of times, okay, like I said, it's a psychic placement, but these people get caught up in the mistrust and the suspicion, being overly, you see what I'm saying, to the point that it is very much destructive. It can be destructive because they're looking too much into what could be opposed to what is. Therefore, you are more vulnerable to deception, scandal, and being used and abused and ripped off. Why? Because a lot of times the people that they think would do some shit won't, and the people that will do some shit they think won't do. Okay, so if that's where it's confusing for them. But if they sit back and reflect, really think, get that space, that mental space, they can figure out and pinpoint what is going on. Okay, their thought process is unique. The way they verbalize it and the way they communicate can be a little off. Okay, so these people will learn to double check, ask for advice, and take extra care when it comes to communicating. They may even need to seek out second opinions and understand the other side of the story. because you tend to believe in conspiracy theories or ideologies and religions based on fantasy. Okay, so these people need to just dive deep. Okay, do some kind of meditation. Some people may need to just really need to speak to a therapist, need to talk to somebody that they're really close to, that they do trust. Okay, because they are so vulnerable to the point where people can actually get them for money, get them for bread. Okay, when they are signing off on legal documents, they could get in relationships where people are using them. Okay, taking their kindness for weakness. They can get with people or be friends with people that have evil intent. So you got to be cautious with this, because what these people do have is a gift. Okay, they do have a special gift when it comes to writing. Okay, but when they are speaking, okay, people could get a little confused about what it is that they're talking about. And even when they are talking, okay, they can be all over the place with their conversations. Okay, they could jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing in a conversation, and that shit is confusing. Okay, especially when you was talking about one thing and now you're talking about something else in 1989. You know what I'm saying? Something different going on. But what these people can do is really, once they do trust people, they can open up on a very, very deep level. But they got to get past being overly cautious, overly suspicious, and feeling like people are always out to get them. Okay, a lot of times what happens with displacement is that this can be like a mirror effect. Okay, they kind of don't trust people because sometimes they don't trust themselves. They could be overly suspicious because they're suspicious of themselves and their actions. So to them, they find it hard to believe that other people would not try to do certain shit that they would do. See what I'm saying? See how that plays out? Because you got to remember with Neptune, it plays that ping pong thing. It could be you, but it could be yourself. It could be them, but it could be yourself. Okay? So I'm going to leave this on as no for now. In future videos to come, I will go more into depth into Mercury opposite Neptune in the natal birth chart. Okay? So, anybody want to get their chart analyzed, please hit me up. Anybody want to donate to the channel, please feel free. So this is a force of nature. Spiritual awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.